Hello and welcome to today's online seminar. You will learn more about the extended collaboration tools on EOLab, which support the synergy between EOLab and CodeDE and support cooperation between users. My name is Patricia Salord, and together with me, my colleague Marcin Gill from Cloudfaro will guide you through today's topics. Please feel free to type your questions into the chat. We will then give the answers after the presentations. After a short introduction to EOLab, we will immediately dive into the collaborative tools. So EOLab Cloud is part of the strategy Artificial Intelligence of the German federal government, and it provides German entities for science and development easy and efficient access to Earth observation data, to virtual working environment for processing this data, and it gives extensive information and training to support users as well. So the EOLab Cloud stands for High Performance Working Environment, Scalable Computer Power, and Broadband Data Connectivity. It also provides tools for to process data with AI methods. It's very flexible for developing and executing your own process chains. And it gives you easy and free access to Copernicus data and services, as well as other data. And what's very important, it's with the synergy with EOLab Cloud and CodeDE, it makes it easy and efficiently to transfer data of scientific results to governmental applications. It also has an extended collaborative tools for users. That's what we will show you here in the next minutes. And what's very important is that the cloud is certified by BSI. There are quite a number of different types of collaboration possibilities on EOLab and also on CodeDE. You can do cooperation between users. There's the synergy between the platforms EOLab and CodeDE. And you can also exchange your information with other users. Teamwork and the exchange of experiences are elementary for the success and efficient implementation of ideas, and therefore EOLab supports this in many ways. Here we give you an overview of the collaborative tools on EOLab that we will show to you in the next steps. And this will also help you later when you want to use these collaborative tools to give you an overview what you can do with the single tools. As I already mentioned, EOLab specifically supports cooperation between users. And in this way, computing resources and data can be shared in project groups, and access can also be given to your system integrator if you have one. So this is quite easy to handle. Now we will talk about how to do this. The precondition for sharing resources is that you are a registered user with cloud resources on EOLab. And if you then want to give someone access to your resources and share these resources with someone, first of all, you have to invite a user by sharing an invitation code. And here you can see that you just have to copy this invitation code and send it to a specific person. This is done when you go to your profile, and then you can invite the user, but before he can accept the invitation, this user also has to register on EOLab. So in theory, the invited person can now accept or even reject the invitation. And let's be positive, the person accepted the invitation. So now you, as the administrator, have to acknowledge the new user and define the user role. So the new user can be admin or member of your team or of the resources, and the settings can be changed anytime by the administrator. And after you added users to your resources, it's now you have to organize these users that are part of your organization. In your organization overview, you will have a list of users, and this list also contains the information about the user role. And you can, whenever you want, you can remove users or add users to your organization. So there's no limitation for this. The administrator is the user with the highest privileges. The admin can manage the organization and the users that are part of the organization, and the administrator has access to OpenStack. What this is, I will explain a bit later. The member, the normal member, is the default user with basic privileges. And there's also a member plus, and this member has the member privileges plus OpenStack access, and therefore member plus can also manage projects, because that's exactly what's done in OpenStack. This is where you can manage the projects. So as I just said, OpenStack is needed to manage projects, and users you want to add to specific projects. Therefore, you have to select the project you want to add a user to. Then you add the desired user to this project. Define the project role for this user. So the project role of the user might be different to the role the user has in your organization. And then, as a result, the user has access to the project with the granted role. And this is how it looks like, where you select the role of the user and the different possibilities you can select here. And as you can see, I always, or I try to always add a link where you can find more information, more background information. And this is a link to the knowledge base articles that have the topic account management. so it's easier for you to find additional information when you're working with this. Oops, sorry. The reading was talking so much that I try to talk and talk. I will now give the word to Marcin. Thank you very much.
Hello, thank you very much. I think I cannot see, just a moment. Patricia, I think I cannot share the screen. Can you check? Oh, okay. Now I can see. I can do it. Okay. You can see my screen already? Okay. So, this is the main screen when you log into your dashboard to EOLab. And for the sake of this presentation, I created the user with this name, esprit-eolab.cloudflare.com. And later I will explain why what you can do with other users and other projects. But the general idea will be to show you how you can use object storage and share this object storage to the world, or and files in this object storage or objects. And you can also share your buckets or containers, I will explain it, to other users. The only limitation is that these other users have to be in the same cloud, but different projects. So you can share between projects and not by just the users, but users should be in different projects. So when you log into your dashboard, to the main dashboard, you will see such image, and then down you can see that you can get to go to OpenStack dashboard, clicking on FRA1 Horizon. When you get to your dashboard, this is the dashboard of Horizon, so OpenStack dashboard. And here you can see that you can, in the menu containers, you can, in object store, you can add containers and store objects. Containers are also called buckets, so we can exchangeably use both names, containers and buckets. And when you create a new container, I give it a name like this. So you can set the name and you can submit. Then you create such bucket or container. And you can upload files, for instance, from your desktop using this dashboard and using the key choose file. So for instance, here in this example, I'm uploading the image, DALI image of PNG file to the bucket A. After choosing, I can see the name in the dashboard. And when I click upload file, I can see that this file is available in my bucket, and this I can see from the dashboard in Horizon. Later, I uploaded another file, so now you can see that I have two files, and generally you can upload as many files as you want. The difference between object storage and so-called containers and storage that you can see in virtual machines is that storage in virtual machines is like so-called block storage, is limited to the amount of data that you declared when creating the storage. So, for instance, if you create a volume of 1 terabyte, you can upload up to 1 terabyte of data into that storage, and it has to be attached or to virtual machine. So you have to have both virtual machine and volumes. If it is not enough, you can either copy the data to bigger volumes, but you have to first touch the volume. You have to make file system on the volume. So it is easy to use, but it has some limitations. And object storage doesn't have these limitations because you are allowed to upload as much storage as you want up to the limit of the whole cloud. Of course, there is some limit because everything has a limit. So, for instance, in the cloud can be petabytes of data, but you do not care about such limits usually, at least not because you created too low storage, too low volume. You can share this by clicking on or marking the public access. You get the link, and you can use this link to share your buckets and your files collected in your bucket to anybody. So this is the example. When I put this link to the browser, I can see that 2 files are present. This is just a list of the files. But when I add this DALI PNG to the link, I can see in the browser, I can see the file itself. Of course, I can download this file as well. So this is just the example how easy it is to use the bucket sharing to the public. So anybody who has this link can access this object. And there is another way. You can exchange the data privately. So you can give access to only chosen users. In this example, I will create another user because this S3EOLab at Cloudflare.com user, which I created, of course, this name is you can use any name with @ and the mail address, because this is the limitation of the system. We will create a new user, and I will show you how you can configure this user to access the buckets and objects from command line in Linux, and you can share these buckets to chosen other users. So once again, when you are in the main dashboard of your lab, you can get to Horizon once again, but then you can see that you have the choice. You can use either CodeD or your lab SAML2 or Keystone credentials. And this user that you register to your lab cannot log in using Keystone credentials. This I will explain a little later. But at the moment, you just use EOLab SAM2. So this is OpenID single sign-on. And later, we will create the user that can use Keystone credentials. So I'm logging again. And as you can see, this user has access to the project. And I will create a new project now. The new project will be called Project User 1. And at the same time, I will also create another project, not project, but another user that has access to the main project. So I created the new project, and this project, the new user created to this project, attached to this project, will have access to only these buckets that the main user allows. So I now create the user one and give password and attach, show to which project it can have access, and the role should be member. But in real life, this user one can be just another user who has projects in your lab cloud. So you can also give credentials to this other user. But for the sake of this presentation, I just created a new user and a new project just to show how it works. So the same way I created the owner user. This is another user. It's created the same way as user one. It is necessary to create the new user. It can also have the same name as Esprit EOLab. I just did it as just gave it name owner, just to show that this is the owner of the buckets and of the main project. So Esprit EOLab at cloudflare.com is the user that can log into the dashboard using this dashboard at the beginning which I showed you. So this one, and the owner will be the user who can log in using Keystone credentials, which I will show later. So this is the dashboard. This has another address, as you can see, another link, and both owner and user one can access dashboard of Horizon directly without this dashboard of EOLab. But they have to be created in such way as I showed you before. When this example shows how user one is logging, but owner can do the same. So log in directly using Keystone credentials. And as you can see, user one now has access to only this one project. So only project user 01. So this is the one, and main, that is owner, has access to the main project. And both users one and owner can now download the OpenStack RC file, and this file will be used to configure the CLI, so the terminal, so that the users can access object storage and objects from command line. So this is the example file, RC file. This file is used to set the system variables. So these variables like OS, auth, URL, and all the others. And at the end, you can see the prompt that I changed just for convenience, but it doesn't have to be that. The main thing is all these exports that you can see in the file. By the way, if you log in with the main user, with the previous user, this main one, this Esprit EOLab, this RC file is much different, and it doesn't allow you to log into CLI. So this is why you have to create another user. So after that, you need to do several to invoke set of several commands like updating. This is shown in this example is shown on Ubuntu 20. Of course, this can be other versions of Linux. It can be also Windows Linux subsystem. So, but it can be also done from Mac OS. Generally, it's difficult to do it from Windows. I don't know exactly. Maybe it's possible, but there should be some other way to do it in Windows. But in this presentation, I concentrated on Linux and specifically on Ubuntu 20. So after this steps, you create both, you install the Python environment, Python virtual environment, you activate it, you install Python OpenStack client, which allows you to access OpenStack from command line. Then you authorize yourself with sourcing the file which we created. The user01sh file is this one file. And after that, if you are properly authorized, you can see OpenStack project list should show you the ID and the name of the project that you have access to. Then both users, the owner, so the main user and user one, then can create with OpenStack command. They can create credentials, which will be used to authorize using S3CMD. And S3CMD is another tool that will be used for accessing the buckets. This is the example of how you can install S3CMD. It's important that S3CMD should be at least 2.2.0. You can do it from either directly in Ubuntu, for instance, using sudo apt install. But I think more convenient way is to do it with pip install, especially that you have already installed the Python environment. So when you are in Python environment and you do pip install S3CMD, you will get the newest version. You can also control which version you want. So this is also convenient. In this case, this is showing that both owner and user one install this S3CMD. And then the next step, both of them should configure S3CMD. So in S3CMD, these are the steps to configure. So put all the access and secret keys and S3 endpoints and other steps. Enter, just enter, so confirm that these commands will have some default values. And this is the second part of this configuration. And at the last point, you will have the .s3 cfg file stored somewhere in your home user environment. And coming back to this main dashboard of Horizon, you can see that in bucket A, there are two files, DALI PNG and Mona Lisa JPEG. And these files are visible by the owner and also by S3 EOLab Cloudflare.com user, because they are in fact the same users, but just the same user in this at this moment, just having various ways of logging. And now you can see that the owner can use S3CMD to list the buckets and list the files stored in the bucket. So the owner can see bucket A and bucket B and what's inside. And if you want to share this, some of these buckets, in this example, I will show you how the owner shares the bucket A to user 01. So to do that, once again, I show you the credentials. You can also check credentials by OpenStack EC2 credentials list. And this is the file that will be used to set the policy of sharing the chosen bucket. So in this file, of course, this is the example. In this example, we have action list bucket and get object. but you can also make it broader, like delete bucket. And there are several commands that you can find in the documentation on EOLab. And also showing which bucket will be shared, and ID, project ID of the owner and project ID of the user one. And this JSON policy file you have to apply. So on the next slide, I show you that S3CMD set policy, and then the file and the bucket which you want to share to the other user. After invoking this command, the owner can check with S3CMD info can check the current policy applied for the bucket, and then after that, the user one can access these buckets. I showed on this slide. I showed 3 cases. In first case, the user gives so generally you can send this S3 colon / A89 and the whole link you can send to other user, and then he or she can use this to list the buckets. And the second case is that the user tries to see the other bucket, and as you can see, the access is denied. And the third case is showing example of trying to access the bucket that does not exist, and this will also give a message that the bucket is not present. So that's all about this presentation, and of course you can apply other policies as well. You can also use so-called bottom-free library to access the buckets from Python. And just be aware that at the moment the documentation on bucket sharing policy on the EOLab page is a little bit outdated, because so we have to update this, but this presentation is checked, and so you can do accessing and sharing the buckets according to this. Thank you. So yeah, should I stop sharing, or you can do it?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. When you're.
Okay. So
Perfect.
I stop.
Thank you very much. I will now share my screen again and talk about EOLab on GitHub. GitHub supports an easy transfer of algorithms and process chains between EOLab and CodeIDE. Well, in our case, does it. A big plus is that GitHub supports version control and collaboration, and therefore makes it easy and comfortable to work together. So here's an image of how the CodeIDE and EOLab GitHub looks like. And here is an example of the FOSS community, a contribution of David Franz, who made available his comprehensive documentation of the FOSS data cube modules. And when you also want to contribute and share information by using GitHub, please contact us, contact the support, and then we will put the information on GitHub and make it available for the user group so that everyone can show this, can have a look at it. Sorry. There also different possibilities to show to share information. So in case you have data and services you would like to share with the EULAB community, then this topic might be quite interesting for you. Maybe you developed services or produce data that you would like to share with other users. Then you have two options. You can share it with all registered EULAB users, or you can share it with a limited user group, depending on the data you have. And the benefit is that you can spread your data and services to a bigger community. You enrich the EULAB portfolio, and if you're interested in that, you get feedback from the community. And here, you would also contact us, the support, and via the contact form, and then you tell us what you would like to share, and if you want to share the data and or services with the whole community or only with a defined user group. And then you would provide us with images and descriptional, as well as additional information. And this additional information can be links, PDFs, tables, and yeah, there's or videos. There's no real limitation to that. And here we have even another quite a similar possibility to share information with other persons. On the project page, we present a selection of representative projects. Here you can see two examples of it, and how they benefit from the EULAB data and service portfolio. If you are running a project on EULAB and think that your experiences could be interesting for other users, please contact us, and we can then show and showcase your project on EULAB. Here you can share a project description, an image or multiple images, tables, and also links and additional information, for example, videos and everything you would like to share. And herefore, just contact the support team to arrange a video call so that we can talk about what you want to share, what the project and which information. The user forum is a very important and interesting tool. It's there to exchange information with the EULAB and the CodeIDE community. So it's you have a very big community you can share your information with, or where you can help with your knowledge. This is how the forum looks like. The user forum is designed as a joint forum with CodeIDE. This should facilitate and motivate the exchange of experience between the users of the two platforms of EULAB and CodeIDE. So you have different forums related to different topics. Here you can see how this looks like. And you can also see that you can log in as CodeIDE or as EULAB user. You can see everything, even if you are not logged in, but you can only comment when you are a logged in user. So you have to be registered to comment or to post. In the news section, We share announcements about, for example, if there's some, if there have to be some maintenance work or some other announcements, and there are also fault reports that are logged here. So this is where you get all this basic information about the platform and the work on the platform. So this might look like this. Here you can see the announcements and other topics that are interesting for the users of both platforms. In the Allgemein section, we talk about general topics. We write there about events that occur, about online seminars, for example, and you can also write about off-topic topics. For example, you found an interesting book about remote sensing, for example. You want to share this information to other users. And this is how it looks like on the user forum. There are also specialized forums about Sentinel data, about the Copernicus services, cloud infrastructure, tools and processors, data cubes, and the data of national missions. So depending on the topic you want to discuss, you choose the specialized forum to discuss this. And how to contribute to a topic. So as I said, you have to be registered as EOLab or CoDDE user to be able to contribute there. You have to log into the user forum and then you select a topic you're interested in. And then you click Antworten, click Answer. And now you are prepared to write an answer to this topic or comment on it. You can insert links or even images that might explain something, and you can also add some attachments like a documentation or PDF, like something like this. If you want to start a new topic, you select the forum you want to add a topic, and then you click on Neues Thema, a new topic. You define the subject line, and then you enter a message, and here you can also add links, images, and also attachments. And by clicking on Absenden, your topic will then be viewable for all users and the user forum. So how to stay informed if you are interested in following the user forum. We recommend to use a free RSS feed reader to stay informed. That's what I'm doing. And whenever a new comment or post is made in the user forum, I get a notification that there's something new. And it's quite easy to set this up. You select the forums, single forums or all forums you want to follow. And as you can see in the image here, there is this logo for the RSS feed. You click on it, and then a new window will open that contains the link for this topic, and you will then insert this link to your RSS feed reader, and whenever a new comment is done or a new post is done in this forum, then you will get the notification. This is something I really, really recommend, because you won't be able to check the forum every day, and it's also a very good possibility to stay informed about the online seminars, because I can understand that when you're working on a workbench, on a virtual machine, you won't check the website every day. And so this is my absolute recommendation, to stay informed about everything that's going on the EOLab platform and or the CodeDE platform as well. So now we are in an online seminar, and talking about online seminars, you also have the possibility to share your knowledge in an online seminar as well. So would you like to present new methodologies or your experiences with EOLab with other users? So this can help you to promote your project. You can share your knowledge and experience, and you can also get feedback from the community. And you can also combine this with showcasing your project, or contributing with some data and the community contributions. And sorry. So if you want to present your project in an online seminar, please contact our support team. Here you can also see a link to the contact form in the lower right corner, and we will be very happy to talk with you about these possibilities. If you want to process geodata and present results in an appealing way, and optionally want to share process change, then WebGIS WebGIS on EOLab is the tool of choice. It's quite new, and you can find it in the portfolio as well. What's the idea behind WebGIS on EOLab? The idea is to process their large amounts of geodata, and to enable the user to also integrate his or her own data. You can also display and share results directly in a web-based GIS. It's called a client. And this client provides some standard tools for navigation, dimensioning, and other possibilities. Together with WebGIS, we also provide the OpenEO geoprocessing engine. The OpenEO geoprocessing engine is part of WebGIS on EOLab. It contains a wide range of geoprocessing functions and the possibility of defining process chains, for example, NDVI. It's a web-based interface, and the results can be displayed as an OGC compliant WMS. And here you have, you can see links to the portfolio entries here, that you can then follow when we share the slides on the website, and you can have more information about these topics. The user stories shown on the slide should help to make the possible utilization of WebGIS easier to understand. So there are different user types. The user working with publicity would use the so-called GIS client. This person wants to see results prepared, so already prepared results, and use them for publications. The consumer is interested in importing results into the web client from previous calculations, no matter if these results are raster or vector files. And this customer wants to illustrate and compare them, this data visually. Then another user type would be the producer, who is processing data and also interested in exporting the results. A developer would define calculations, for example, the NDVI for a given area of interest and export the scripts. And the administrator would define the roles of the users, do the role management, and create or modify the so-called WebGIS instances. So starting with the admin client, this is used to create individual WebGIS instances per user. So every user gets an individual WebGIS instance. Here you can define which layers should be available for an instance. So which data layers should be available, which users should have access to the instance, and which tools are available for the users. And in addition, you can make further styling settings, and the resolution as well as the projection can be set. So you can show the whole world there, for example, or you can show the city center of Munich, for example, and use the projection you think is fitting best. The GIS client, on the other hand, is the interface for all users. You can create individual instances for the users, and every instance can be accessed via an individual URL. So if you want a user to only see one instance, this user gets only this URL and won't see the other instances. And here you can define two roles, user and viewer. A user has full access to all functionalities, including the OpenEO geoprocessing engine. And a viewer has only access or has access to all tools selected in the admin client, so defined by the administrator, but he has no access to the OpenEO geoprocessing engine because the OpenEO geoprocessing engine creates something, and the viewer is not allowed to create something with the OpenEO geoprocessing engine. Using the OpenEO geoprocessing engine on EOLab requires specific permissions. So at the moment, it's only assigned to the user and administrator roles. Here you can select, you get a selection of tools that allows you to process remote sensing data. Selected process chains can be predefined and as a button in the WebGIS instance. As an example, again, the NDVI calculation. Customized processing workflows can be composed manually and automatically validated with the OpenEO web editor. You can also execute process chains chains through the WebGIS interface and share as code snippets in the JSON format. And the result of the process chain can be added as a new map layer to the current WebGIS instance. So if you're interested in using WebGIS, please contact the EULab support directly via the contact form. And here you can select, as topic, you can select WebGIS and OpenEO geoprocessing engine. And please also add a short description of what you would like to achieve with the WebGIS. As I already mentioned, most important on EULab are the scientists and developers and their research tasks, which they realize on EULab, and therefore EULab specifically supports cooperation between users. I here again will show you, or I already show you the overview of the collaborative tools on EULab, just to make you remember what you have seen till now. And after the now following Q&A time, we will start a survey or open a survey to learn more about your impressions and wishes regarding these collaboration tools. And we are already looking forward that you have some questions. At the moment, I can't see any, but I will give you some time to think about some questions, and maybe we can already start the survey in parallel, because it gives you some more time to think about questions.